Okay, I think everything's working. Okay, what's going on, guys? It's Nate here with another tutorial. This one is some stuff's gonna be on Procreate, but I'm also showing some stuff on Photoshop today. Let me just turn. That's fine. Okay, I think the sound should be fine. So today I'm going to show my process for editing ink drawings, and I have a really good one for this tutorial because it's going to cover everything. So I'm going to go from the scan to well, you'll see. So anyway, to prove I don't have a nice camera, it's like a film camera, so I just took a picture of this. So this is what this kind of looks like in my sketchbook. So as you can see, like, I have this sketch, and it's sloppy enough that there's even like this like remnant of this guy here, and then I drew these things that I want to add to this picture. Like, his hand is too small, his arm and his hand is too small, so I redrew it, and I wanted to add this like big ass sword to his back, which this isn't uncommon when I make ink drawings. A lot of the time what you see in the final piece is edited, but it's usually to varying degrees. But I do this from time to time where it's really like stitched together. So all that I'm skipping in this tutorial is I took those from my sketchbook and scanned them onto a flash drive. And here I just have the root folder of my flash drive open up in Photoshop. So seriously, like, that's all you've missed. So I've scanned these. So you have access to a scanner. Do that. I'd say honestly, if you want to work on paper and stuff and still work as an artist in this like climate, I'm actually gonna turn this down just slightly. Okay. If you want to work as a digital artist and still work on analog stuff, you just have to have access to a scanner. My mom has a nice scanner, fortunately, so that's what I use. I don't actually own a scanner, but she has like an HP kind of like all-in-one scanner, printer sort of thing. So that's what I use. It's not even necessarily like that nice of a scanner. So typically anything will do. But anyway, enough rambling. So we're gonna open these up in Photoshop. We're gonna do the main one first. So just rotate it so it looks right, and I'm gonna try to slow this process down so people can follow along. But this is the process I have arrived to for editing my ink drawings. As you can see here, it really, you can tell that, you know, the quality is pretty good, but you can see kind of the unevenness in the ink and stuff. And you can see here I use two different kinds of inks. This is from my fountain pen, and this is from like a brush pen. And the scanner kind of over penetrated the brush pen ink. That's fine, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna make all the blacks kind of like flat. What we're really gonna like digitize this, whatever that means to you. It's still gonna be a raster image. There's a whole other method for turning stuff like this into vectors, which I don't know, because I don't know a lot about vector-based illustration. Everything I do is raster-based. So if you're looking for advice on that, I'm sorry, I don't really know. But so this is the method that I know. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this and then delete the locked version. You could also just unlock it, but I'm just so used to doing that. So then we're going to make a new blank layer, and this, I really only know how to do this in Photoshop. So I would say Photoshop is pretty essential for this sort of thing. We are going to use the fill tool and make this empty layer white, pure white. Okay, that's going to come in handy in a second. So here's the actual process. You go to select and go down to color range. And this tool is going to select all of one color. And what we're going to do is just select the white. So we're going to select the white and then just click. Nothing might seem like it happened, but it did. Hit OK, and the whole image should look like it's been selected now. Like there should be, yeah. And then you simply just hit the delete key. Okay, it didn't seem like anything happened there, but we're going to deselect and then get rid of our background. Oh, we deleted all of the white. So all that's left is this ink. Now, it looks a little washed out still, but it looks pretty similar. But then this is where the next step is going to come in. We're going to go to Image, Adjustment, Hue and Saturation. I have a dual monitor set up, so I had to bring that over. And we're going to take the lightness and make it -100. Boom. Look at how good that looks. This is what we want. The blacks are so rich. Yes, you still get some of this texture in the ink, but that's fine. I kind of like that. But this is what we want. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean this up at least a little bit. I like really doing the cleaning up in Procreate because I just have so much. Because I'm using a mouse right now. But we're going to get rid of this guy. So I like to use the lasso tool for this sort of thing. And we're just gonna, here we go. Draw around this guy. Select him, delete him. Okay. And then next, I think I just want to rotate this guy slightly. That looks better. Okay. So, already major improvement from the actual sketch. This looks like, oh, I didn't make any mistakes. But then, like I said, I realized when I was looking at this guy's arm was just too small. So I drew him another arm, and then I also decided that I wanted to put like a big sword on his back. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. I'm going to do this a little bit faster, just because I already kind of talked through it the first time. And yeah, I'm kind of used to doing this pretty freaky fast, because if I scan in a bunch of stuff from my sketchbook, I will like boom, 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 like do this to like, you know, like 10 pictures in one sitting. So I'm used to doing this like robotically fast. That's why I wanted to make sure and just kind of talk through every step slowly when I was showing it off. And the other thing we're going to do here is I'm actually going to separate these into 2 separate layers. Layer via cut. Okay, so now the arm is one layer, the sword is another layer. So we're going to add the sword first, because adding the sword is going to be a lot easier. So, I mean, this is kind of like standard Photoshop stuff, but we're going to take this layer and we're going to drag it into this document. Oh, I'm going to lock the background. Okay, how do I want to do this? And again, I might not figure out exactly what I'm doing right now. I might kind of leave this like quasi-resolved, and then like I might figure out where I want it like position-wise. I also might have it going the other way. Let's see how that looks. There's definitely trial and error involved here. No. There we go. What's happening? Oh, whoops. I had both layers selected. No, I like it better this way. Okay. Maybe I'll actually have it like even higher up. Okay, we're going to leave that floating there for now. Like I said, a lot of this stuff, I might actually end up being more comfortable doing it in Procreate, just because I'm using a mouse right now, and my background isn't drawing. I like using a stylus, whether that is a pencil or a touchpad, or an iPad, whatever. That's where my comfort lies. So this arm is like way too beefy, but I knew that. I just want it to be like bigger. It's probably gonna be more like that. Okay. Again, I will probably resolve this. Oh, very sorry about that. I just hit the mic with my hand. I will probably resolve this in Procreate. So the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to so I want to do that in here. I might just leave this way. Anyway, I knew I was going to do a lot of this in Procreate, but I wanted to get this far to show you. I wanted to be able to show you how I remove the background from these things. We're actually going to put this in the Patreon folder, and yeah, I'll just save it in there. Okay. So I'm going to pause this really quick, and hopefully when I hit play, we'll be looking at my iPad. Okay, I'm pretty sure that worked. So now we're in my iPad, and we are going to, how do I want to do this? Okay, I'll just do this through Procreate. Import. And look, I trust you guys. So if you ever see anything in here that's not released yet or something, don't talk about it. Don't mention it to anybody. Don't mention it to my clients. Don't be like, hey, I saw a small copy of your album art or something. Yeah, please don't. I don't want to have to be that vigilant while recording this stuff. So please, out of respect, let it be just a cool little secret. Okay. So I made that a Photoshop document file, and now I'm just importing that into Procreate, and looky here. We've got exactly what I was just working on in here in Procreate. We've got all of our layers, and we're ready to go. So the first thing I wanted to do was remove this arm. And I was going to try to do this with the mouse, but that was just going to be crazy, right? Okay. And yeah, the main reason why I wanted to do this in Procreate was because I knew I'd probably end up distorting it some, just to make it fit. Nope, do not want that. Then we'll just kind of fill this in. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Okay, that looks so much better. Okay. Next, the sword. I may actually just try making the sword like longer. Let's see, how do I want to do this? It's way too thick. It looks a little awkward. If I have it be like that long, I kind of want to have it like coming out the other side. So yeah, as you can see, it's not like magic. It's not like I just draw these like extra pieces and then just like Photoshop them on and then it's like done. It's kind of like part 2 of the drawing in a way. That almost looks too straight. Okay. And then I'm going to put in just a nice little, this is a great little cheat. I'm just gonna put in like this kind of guiding line. Is that straight? I think the problem is my sword is not like it perfectly straight, and I'm like trying to just go off of like from here. Yeah, so if I want to, I may put like okay. Sorry, I'm not talking as much, but this part is just kind of off the dome, so I'm just thinking about different stuff that I want to try. Okay, I think I kind of like this. And then, is that enough? Is it missing something? Maybe it'll be better when the piece is in color. That looks pretty sick. Okay. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments. Would this guy be a good final boss in a video game? He seems like he would probably beat my ass several times. And then I would eventually YouTube how to beat Zekron or whatever. Okay. What is this? Oh, right. Okay. We're gonna add some texture here because I'm gonna try one more thing before I call this done, and I had the idea that I want to do shade the entire interior of his cape. But while I was inking, I was like, first of all, it's going to take a lot of ink. Second of all, that is a very dangerous idea. I may ruin the drawing doing that. So I thought to myself, why don't you black it out in Procreate, where you can be safe? And the reason why is because I think having that like really dramatic shadow will look tight, but there's always just the chance that it doesn't quite pan out. And then what I might do instead is, do something with color. Because I think I'm gonna color this. I mean, I usually, like, when I post on social media, or I will post like a color and black and white version of whatever, just because okay, yeah, this is probably gonna look sick. And then I will probably just do something like this. And then I will erase some highlights. Oh, whip. Man, this is why I have a Patreon, because I really would like an iPad Pro, because I constantly accidentally hit the home button. This iPad, really, it's not that big. It's actually pretty dang small. Like, if you compare it to like the size of most Wacom tablets or something, it's really not that big. So hopefully one of these days I'll be able to buy a new iPad. Trump bought me this iPad, the COVID relief money. I don't know if I've mentioned that already, but I love telling people that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, anyway, I always post a color and black and white versions of my drawings. I just, especially with a lot of the time, I always kind of view stuff as just practice. Even pieces that I really like and kind of take more like reflective thought into like planning and executing, I don't really even stop and think like, oh, well, how do I want to present this? Like, is the color version the definitive version or the black and white version? I mean, sometimes I'll have an opinion on that, I guess. There's some, especially there are some pieces that I really think of as being the black and white, but I always will take a stab at color just because I like coloring this stuff, and it's too interesting to wonder, like, well, what will this look like in full color? How will I color it? Okay, yeah, this looks good. I will probably tweak some of the other shadows then for interest's sake. I'm gonna make this a half tone. Yeah, so like in this, I think I want to do, yes, something like this. And actually, I don't love the way but this is just how I love to work anymore, man. It's like, it's a great, I kind of feel like I just get the best of both. Like, I really get to feel like I had that like visceral connection between the paper and the ink and the spontaneity of just like drawing something. And like, I didn't think I drew this dude's eye first, and then I drew his head, and then I drew those weird shoulder pads. So there was a stretch of time where those like things coming off the frills of his shoulders almost looked like little hands. And then I drew the circle under his neck, and then it just like slowly became torso, and then legs, and then I added the cape. Like, you know, it all just kind of like slowly came together. Okay, I actually don't know if I like this now. Oh, yeah. I think I think I want to just like make that arm look bigger. And then just like redo the hatching. Screw it. Shout out to the people who make royalty-free lo-fi hip-hop. Where would I be without you? Because I always draw listening to music. But then at some point I was like, oh, you know what? If I make these tutorials, I'm going to have to upload them on YouTube or something. Even if they're just private. So then I was like, wait. Can private YouTube videos get taken down for copyright? I don't know. So then I had to start thinking about that shit. Which I hate. Not to go on a screed, but I am anti-intellectual property. It's stupid. In fact, if you want to draw this guy, I encourage you to do so. I do not try to own my shit. Yeah, unless if it has to do with, I guess, certain business with clients. That's a little different. And even then, my policy is my clients own the artwork I make for them. Oops, I forgot this is on a separate layer. Okay, man, this is awesome. I'm sorry. Every once in a while I draw something that really I just think looks tight. Like I would watch this anime or whatever. Okay, unless I'm missing something. I think it's done. Because I don't want to... That's another thing I would like to say is like when I do edit the ink drawings, of course, but like I really don't like to pick them apart. Like they're like, you know, I added this like big shadow with the cape. Okay, well that's, you know, it's gonna take some time to sort of rebalance the composition. Some of the shapes aren't gonna fit right with that, you know, like pretty big stuff. But like, you know, this boot is a little sloppy. I don't care. Okay, so what we're gonna do is start combining things. And then we're gonna like... Okay, so I think if I have this right, kind of got like the shadow, got the sword, and then like the guy. Okay. Heck, I'll just merge it all. Screw it. I like to live dangerously. Okay. But yeah, what I will do is erase any place where there's just kind of like weird little stray ink marks and stuff from when I was working. I'll gladly like clean up that sort of stuff, but I also think that sort of funk, like this weird little like wiggle on the boot where you can like really see the roughness, it adds to just the liveliness. That's why I work with ink. That's why I work with ink brushes. Things that are totally unwieldy. Okay, well, we are at 29 minutes and 38 seconds, so I think I'm going to stop it here because I would say this is about a perfect 30-minute tutorial. So there it is. I went from raw scan files to edited ink drawing. I removed the background, took all the lightness out, so it was like the pitch black ink work. I showed you guys how to do like the layers. I brought in kind of the repair elements that I photoshopped in, you know, stitched it all together in Procreate, and here we are. I mean, you know, like, this sword was not here. This arm was a different arm. This cape didn't have this like awesome dramatic shadow. And yeah, I'm really happy with this one. So, with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna keep trying to kick out the tutorials. I like making them. I hope you guys like watching them, and let me know what else you guys are looking for. What other stuff you want to see me demo. I'm making a bunch of these before the release of the Patreon, so if you commented on like the first one and then I like posted something else, that's because I've made some of these kind of in preparation. But needless to say, I will be heavily listening to people's feedback, because I can do a bunch of different stuff in Procreate and in Photoshop, and I don't always readily think like, oh, I can show people this. I don't know what people don't know, so just let me know. And with that, thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. So have a good day or night or whatever. All right, bye.